Change can be a very difficult thing to comprehend, especially when it is the biggest change in the company history. Barry Pulver here, owner of the exceptional brand powered by eXp, the #1 global team leader here with this prestigious company, here live from a coffee shop. So I hope you have yours. We are going to run through very briefly, in detail, in depth, but quickly, the top 4 changes which are implemented officially here in North America from May the 9th, 2024, one of which is implemented from July the 1st, 2024, and globally in June 2024. If you're ready, it's time to go. Revenue share has typically been paid out on or around, depending if it falls on the weekend or not, the 21st of every single month, like clockwork. Now, if you look live from today on your My eXp dashboard, you will find you are in control of when you receive the payment. Much like when you have a commission or a closing here, as we say here in America, you get paid next day, as long as all your documents are in the right way. Now, finally, with revenue share, at your choice and your choice only, you can click a Pay Now button and you will get paid, as we've seen from experience, within about 12 hours, depending on the day of the week. Or if you don't do that, you can wait and you'll still get paid at the traditional time frame. So whether you need the money, you have something pending, or you just need the money, or you want to see how it works, right now is an introductory rate of $1 US. You can get paid now. It's on the My eXp platform, right underneath where the unpaid tab and all your revenue share money is. Click Pay Now. It instigates that for a $1 fee. When you confirm it, you can get paid right now. This is my favorite of the entire changes that are coming. FLQ agents changes. Frontline qualifying agent changes. Now, to understand all the changes that are now implemented, you also have to understand what was the prior. I'm going to put some visuals here to share with you, but previously speaking, you can always bring in any direct business partner that you feel eXp is a right fit for and create your own all-star team and work together. That has never been challenged. That's never been an issue. Now, to 100% in the previous model, financially benefit from their production of any agents that they bring into the company, you would have to have 5 qualifying agents to unlock 100% of the revenue share. And imagine any of their agents that they bring in, which would be one of your tier 3 agents, you need to directly bring in 10 qualifying agents into the company. Now, a qualifying agent, depending on the model, depending on the currency, is different. Typically speaking, it's about $5,000 here in North America. $5,000 every 6 months worth of revenue generated is going to allow one of your business partners to become a qualifying agent. Now, how things are changing. Levels, tiers 1, 2, and 3 are now open, fair game, free for all, whether you have 100 qualifying agents or if you have 0 qualifying agents. Every single agent on your tiers 1, 2, and 3 from right now here in North America, you receive 100% of the revenue share that is generated, whether you have any qualifying agents or not. That's huge for people who maybe have a huge organization or people who are just wanting to start in revenue share. Because of 86,000 agents here around the world, about 11-12% of agents look at revenue share, because we're a company that helps agents sell more homes to help and impact more families. Now, it is an open level playing field for everybody. Those 5, let's say those 10 qualifying agents previously that would have opened up your tier 3, now starts from tier 4. So if you have 12 qualifying agents, not only do you have your first 3 tiers unlocked, those 5 qualifiers start from tier 4. So you now have tier 5 open. So tiers 1, 2, and 3 are open for everybody. It does not matter how many qualifying agents you have to accept and receive 100% of the revenue share generated from that. 5 qualifying agents for you opens up tier 4. 10 qualifying agents open up to tier 5, 15 qualifying agents now opens up tier 6, and tier 7 is the only one that remains the same. 30 qualifying agents open up tier 7. So that is the removal, the change of the frontline qualifying agents and how potentially for you or your partner agents, it massively impacts your revenue share, your revenue that you're generating overnight. Now, many people who have been here at the company maybe longer than we would like to admit, have seen in 2019 there were two massive changes that came to eXp. Number one has been a massive benefit for many of us, the international expansion, which I feel has been the biggest change since the company shifted and became a publicly traded company, where we now are share owners of a publicly traded company. The other change was the introduction of the SRS buffer. What that means is a sustainable revenue share platform and model. In more recent years, it's been implemented, I believe, internationally in the UK, Australia, and South Africa. Still, many countries is not fully implemented in. But here in North America, that happened in 2019. What that means and what that meant is that the company will pay no less, no more, literally 50% of all the revenue that us agents generate from our home sales back to the agent in revenue share and in shares and stock in a company. 50%. And that's where the sustainable revenue share buffer comes into play. You may see now, you may have seen all this year, previous years. Since that time, you look at those few days before the 21st of the month where you get paid, you know what your revenue share is going to be. Then the tiles disappear for a couple of days. Then they magically come back, and that money, typically speaking, is added to a little more. You see, it's a SRS buffer has typically brought up that amount of money. So that's why we've always said any of your direct business partners, your tier one agents, you can receive, if they cap, up to $2,800 per year for that agent. And any of their agents, your tier two agents, as long as in the old model you had 5 qualifying agents, up to $3,200 per year. That is up to on 2 factors. Number one, they cap. You still get paid a certain percentage per transaction. But the second factor was depending on where the sustainable revenue share buffer came into play. I was checking last month as I record this live now as the changes are fully implemented. On the tiers 5, 6, and 7, it's literally been at about a 50% SRS buffer. So if you were due to receive $100 in revenue share, what you would actually receive through the SRS buffer of about 50% is literally half of that, $50. And tiers 1, 2, and 3 would be a case of closer, I think this last month was 19%. It's fluctuated anywhere from 19 to about 32%, I believe, from my personal calculations. Don't hold me liable, I could be wrong. So there's an up to. Now, eXp, what they brought in of the removal of the SRS buffer, sustainable revenue share buffer, it is a minimum guarantee. So on the front end, it may look a little daunting, a little worrying, but ultimately in your pocket, you now know what you are going to receive. And it is a minimum guarantee with a bonus at the end of the month, which we'll get to a little later in this. So those numbers of what we've known, effectively the up to, a little misleading and a little not transparent because we genuinely didn't know where the revenue was going to fall. We have those transparent numbers, and you'll see I'll pop them up here during this video as I'm speaking to. So you now know the minimum guarantee you will receive from any of your direct business partners is $1,400 that year. You know from any of the tier 2 agents, any of their tier 1 agents, you will receive $1,600 per year. So the removal of the SRS buffer has allowed the first 3 tiers here in the revenue share game, as I love to call it, to be open to everybody. So that's where now we have a minimum guarantee of numbers. We're not guessing. Now there is, like I said, a bonus, and I'll explain to that upcoming how that's going to be received. But we know the SRS buffer is now done. So there's no up to. We can be very transparent, we can be very forthright. And every other company, certainly here in North America and internationally, that has any revenue share platform has a SRS type. There is a sustainable aspect that does allow where you may be thinking you're receiving $4,000. Well, actually check in the granular right now. Prime example, you can look back on this, which I've been doing and analyzing. Go to your My eXp platform, go to the unpaid or prior paid revenue share, click on one of the agents you see, click on any of their transactions, scroll down, and you will see what that buffer is. So now you don't need to worry about the buffer and the guesswork. The bonus that comes into play is going to be a benefit, but you know the minimum guarantee, and you can explain to any of your agents that there is a minimum guarantee now. It's not an up to mythical number, it's a minimum guarantee on every single one of your 7 tiers. Take a little break. Now, before we get to this bonus that's going to happen, you can already go back and see your My eXp dashboard, and you can see at the end, about the 21st of the month, the bonus that is applied to add the revenue share up. Not above, not below 50% of the company dollar that is received from eXp, which you're going to get to in a moment. Interesting to know, there were 28 scenarios the brainchild of the revenue share 2.0 model came up with, ranging from all sorts of the obnoxious to the obscene to the spectacular when it comes to the changes, all of which were presented to Glenn and the leadership team. And this revenue share 2.0 model is effectively what was chosen for a couple of reasons. Sustainability of the company, but more importantly, from what I hear firsthand, is to allow the agents to have more of an opportunity to get more revenue from the revenue share pool and to move the company from close to 90,000 agents to 150,000 and beyond, which has always been the vision when we launched globally, certainly from 2019 and beyond. So 28 scenarios, and this was the one. With the SRS buffer removed, we're going to talk about the bonus. So go into your eXp, you can see the 50% revenue. The best explanation I've heard is two hands here. So every country is different. I will say there are different models, different splits. The revenue share pool, which I'm specifically speaking about here, is going to be, I believe, specific to the country by where you do your business too. So because things are being implemented and introduced here in North America first, we're going to use North American verbiage and splits. 80-20 split. You have your split, eXp has 20%. 50% of that 20% split goes into a revenue share pool, which is going to go back to the agents and also into this bonus that's going to be introduced every month for tiers 1, 2, and 3. So that leaves us two fingers, doesn't it now? So for tiers 1, 2, and 3, there's going to be a bonus every single month. How does that bonus come into play is the interesting factor. Number one, breakage. When an agent leaves the company, there is no compression. So say I bring in John Lennon to the company, who just so happens to bring in Paul McCartney to the company, who just so happens to bring Ringo Starr into the company. Ringo Starr actually owns a company in South Carolina of 500 agents and brings them all in, but John Lennon didn't feel that eXp was really a good fit for him, so he went to sell flowers at the neighborhood florist. So because the revenue share that would go to John Lennon doesn't compress, there's money there that goes into the revenue share pool that comes back to the agents here at eXp in the revenue share pool. So anyone who leaves the company because the tiers don't compress right now, that is one of the two ways. Added international buffers as well. If ever you directly expand internationally, eXp takes the number one slot, and from that money is what's going to go back into the bonus. And the other one, so we've got tiers 1, 2, and 3, agents who leave the company, and the factor of revenue share that is not unlocked. Now I know tiers 1, 2, and 3 are now unlocked for all, but some of us have 8 levels here of eXp and we don't unlock all of that. And you have many other agents exactly the same case. So the revenue share that is not fully unlocked and fully realized, that would typically just be going back to eXp Corporate, now goes back into this revenue share pool and buffer. And that is a way by how that bonus is going to be generated. So it's going to be generated on your tiers 1, 2, and 3. You're going to see it either pay now, or let's just keep it traditional, the 21st of the month when revenue share typically pays out. Agents who leave the company, international buffers, revenue share that's not fully unlocked is going to go back into that 50% revenue share pool, and it's going to be going back to the agents in forms of a bonus, which in part compensates the up to numbers to the minimum guarantee numbers. So that's how the bonus is going to be affected. I would strongly recommend you give it a few months, 5, 6 months, to see exactly how it evens out. But from a logistical standpoint of how it comes out from the very country you're in, the agents who leave, the lack of compression, and those who don't unlock revenue share, fortunately now goes back into the revenue share pool, and hopefully on the 21st goes back into your pocket. Fast start attraction bonus. Now, fully implemented here in North America from the 1st of July. There is no going back in time. However, the anniversary dates do continue. Any direct agent, you, business partner, sponsor, a tier 1 agent of yours, that pay doesn't go from a minimum guarantee for the first year from July of $1,400. It is $4,000, again, here in America. So what that means is you are fully financially incentivized, and at 25% of the revenue, 50% of that revenue pool you will receive if and when they cap at eXp for the first year and the first year only. Anniversary year number 2 on is going to be the minimum guarantee of $1,400. Talk about a fast start. And it starts July the 1st. So it's absolutely massive. It's a way to really set your direct business partners up for success, to financially incentivize you to directly continue to grow as well, and to really offer them the support, the guidance, the help, the systems, the structure, the tools, all of that they need to really get them out the gates as a fast start. So again, July 1st, 2024, any direct agent that you bring in, any tier 1 agent that you will bring into the company, is going to be receiving 50% of the revenue share pool for their first year, $4,000 from their production up until the point where they cap. So there you have it. Good cup of coffee, I hope. It's a lot of information, all of which is fully available in specific workplace groups. But if you can have a look again on your My eXp dashboard, the very first tile will give you the toolbox, give you the black and white tables, information, everything else you need. Of course, I'm fully contactable in workplace chat too. Those are really the 5 big changes. You can get paid when you want to get paid from revenue share. There is a removal of the first 3 tiers of the frontline qualifying agents. The SRS buffer is fully removed, and there is now a minimum guarantee as opposed to a mythical up to payout. There is a bonus that is going to be happening every single month based upon your first 3 tiers, and of course, a fast start attraction bonus. Any questions, reach out. I have not personally been as excited since 2009 as this company went international to seeing the changes, because I know many people, my organization, many friends here at eXp, many people who are looking at eXp, who are wanting to make a big impact in this industry. And honestly, there's nothing like this timing and this revenue share 2.0 model to do it. So thank you for watching. Let's do this together. Cheers.